Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for watching our individual traveler instructional video for all three of our global first year programs cohorts for this upcoming 2024-2025 academic year. So throughout this video, we're really hoping to walk you through what it means to be an individual traveler, as well as all of the different nuances and pieces of information that you'll need to know throughout the process. So just as a bit of a preface, before we really jump into this video, you'll be receiving this form to provide us with all of your travel information in an email sent to your Northeastern email address. And in that email as well, you'll be receiving all of the group flight arrival and departure times, as well as group flight numbers for all of the group flights that will be headed to your site. So you will have the option to use that information to book an individual seat on one of our group flights if that's something that you're interested in. So that can be either one way or both ways, really whatever you would prefer, but just wanted you all to know that that option will be available to you. So as I was saying, you'll be receiving this form in the email that I just mentioned with all the information about being an individual traveler. And this form specifically is the NUWIN form that we'll be looking over, but the forms for Global Scholars and London Scholars will be very similar, just some different specific pieces of information according to those programs. So over here on the left-hand side, what it means to be an individual traveler is that you plan to manage and pay for your own travel arrangements to and from your site. And then if you go further down, should you arrive to your site's listed airport below, earlier, or at the same time as the group flight, you will have the option to hand raise to be included in the group transportation to your student residence. So that will be the last question on this side of the form. So please fill that out if you want to opt into ground transportation with the group flight students. So any other arrival time, you are responsible for your own transportation to the student residence. And then just down here, any other airport that we're not flying into for your site, you will also be responsible for your transportation to the student residence. So these are all of the NUWIN airports. And then for London Scholars and Global Scholars London, we'll be flying into Heathrow. And then for Global Scholars Oakland, we'll be flying into San Francisco. So if you get further down, you'll see a please note section. So I'm sure many of you have heard already, but as an individual traveler, you will be receiving a credit back to your Northeastern account equivalent to the average cost of a round-trip group flight ticket to your site. Credits will be issued midway through the fall semester, and credit amounts will be determined once students are on site and will differentiate between sites. So the amounts will be different according to what site you're at. And then a little bit more specifics about that credit balance. So if you have a balance on your Northeastern account at the time of the credit issue in the fall, the credit amount will automatically be applied to that balance. So you could have a bill or something else posted to your account. You will still see that credit amount there, but it will automatically be applied to that balance. So the balance will decrease according to the credit amount posted. And then if you have a balance of 0 on your Northeastern account at the time of credit issue, you will be receiving a check for the credit amount in the mail. And if you have any questions at all about the credit amount, feel free to reach out to our program emails for more specifics. But we'll jump in to the right side of the form. So starting off, you'll be providing us with the normal personal information that you give us, your Northeastern email, your NUID, your phone number, and your first and last name. And then you will be able to select whether you're flying or driving to your location. So for those of you who are driving, you will still be receiving the credit amount, but just wanted to make that clarification because that's a common question that we get. But if you are driving, you'll still be getting that credit to your account. So you'll need to fill out some different pieces of information depending on which option you select. So if you're driving, all we'll need to know are your departure and arrival dates to site. And then if you're flying, we need to know some more specifics for departure and arrival, like departure airline, flight number, flight time. If you have a connecting flight, just airport specifics like that, just so we know. in case you maybe have a connecting flight that gets canceled or delayed and you might not arrive on time. So then if you get further down, there's the question that says, if you are arriving at the same time or earlier as the group flight and at the same airport location, would you be interested in joining ground transportation to the site? So you either select yes or no, and we will put you on a list accordingly so our on-site teams know to be expecting you to add to our group travel list. So after you fill all of that out, you should be all set to hit submit, and then you will be receiving follow-up information on airport logistics in our Know Before You Go emails before you depart in August. So I wanted to include a little bit more about our sites for London Scholars and Global Scholars London, because there are a few more specific pieces and nuances that you'll need to know for individual travelers. So for those of you who will be opting into group transportation from Heathrow to your student accommodation in London, the group travel students will be traveling with staff via the tube to your student residence. So you'll want to fill out the same question, and then students will be taking the tube in groups from Heathrow to their student residence with the residence life coordinators, as I just said, who are our on-site staff in London. And then, as it says here, you will also have the option of opting in to have your luggage transferred to your residence. So students can have a maximum of 2 suitcases transferred, and suitcases will be arriving in their rooms towards the end of the arrival day. So make sure not to look for your suitcase right away, as it'll take our team some time to get those up to your rooms. And then if you get further down, there's some more please note sections. So luggage transfer is only available if you are arriving earlier than or at the same time as one of the group flights. It is not guaranteed if your flight is delayed, if you miss your flight, or if you are arriving later than our last scheduled group flight. And then another note, it is a 10 to 20-minute walk from Heathrow to the tube station and from the tube station to the student residence. So please plan accordingly, as London staff will not be able to assist with any additional baggage. So if you're planning on bringing more than 2 suitcases, just make sure you're able to be mobile and you're able to travel well with any additional luggage you might have to bring on the tube and on the walk to your student residence. So then just down here, as well as I mentioned before, if you're flying into any airport other than Heathrow, you will also be responsible for your own transportation to site. And then just wanted to go over the couple specific opt-in questions for our students headed to London. So this is the ground transportation option questions. So you either select yes or no if you're interested in joining group travel on the tube to your student accommodation. And then the second question says, if you are arriving to Heathrow earlier or at the same time as one of the group flights, do you want to opt in to have your luggage transferred to your accommodation? And this is just another reminder, as I mentioned before, if you're thinking about having more than 2 suitcases, you'll have to travel to campus with the rest of your luggage. So just make sure you're mobile and ready to go with the rest of your bags. And then for our students in London, you will also have to upload a screenshot of your e-ticket or your flight itinerary. And these flight itineraries are due no later than July 26th. And they must include your first and last name, date of departure, date of arrival, departure, and arrival city. So you will put that here, and this is super important. This is for our London team to use for your visas while you're on site. So make sure to get this uploaded so we can get that information over to them so you all can get your visas accordingly. And then here's some more information about the individual traveler credit that I mentioned. And this is the same information. You'll be receiving a traveler credit to your Northeastern account for the average cost of a round trip group flight ticket to your site. And yeah, that's just about it for all of our individual traveler forms and pieces of information. So as always, thank you so much. And if you have any and all questions about individual travel, please reach out to your specific program email and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you so much.